Now I gotta ride or die.
We're interrupting today's video to give a massive thank you to the guys at Surfshark. Surfshark is a VPN for your browser that can let you access stuff like series from around the world. I'm a massive Netflix fan, and most of the stuff that I watch comes out in the US way before it comes out in the UK. So this VPN provider by Surfshark lets me access that content before it gets to the UK, as well as shielding your online presence. And what me and Surfshark are doing right now is giving you 85% off with code JamieFYD, and you also get 3 months free service with that code. Just use the link in the description to go and grab your Surfshark. This is 100% the best VPN on the market and is the best price that we've been able to get you guys. So 85% off and 3 months extra free by going to the link in the description. And again, I love watching series on Netflix. I love seasons and stuff from around the world, so this VPN provider gives me the access to all of the content I want. Thank you so much again to the guys at Surfshark for sponsoring today's video. But let's get back to the action.
My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
Fast! Oh my god, scares me. Second gear. Oh, it hurts like right here. Woo. So I've just had to pull over to give myself 5 minutes to recap what's going on. We'll change the GoPros and that. This thing is a joke, like no joke. I don't swear on the channel and I will bleep it out. This thing is like, I can't fathom how fast this thing goes from like, yeah, 0 to 60 and all that sort of business, but B-road bashing this thing is no joke. 20, 30 mile an hour, second gear, it surpasses the speed limit in literally 1 second, in my opinion. It is hilarious from 20 to 30. That's the thing that I'm really seeing straight away, is that the 0 to 30, yes, it's fast, but the 30 to 60 and beyond is just like literally gobsmack me. I can't believe how fast this thing is. Yes, I've driven this for the past couple of weeks, but I haven't kicked its head in. I haven't enjoyed it to the point where I'm actually shaking and in fear of this thing, more to the fact that the roads are small and this thing outperforms the Isle of Wight tenfold. It is so much faster than the roads can keep up with. The other thing I need to point out as well is that throwing more power through a car, the brakes can cope with it, the wheels, tyres can cope with it, the suspension cannot cope with it whatsoever. The suspension is like not happy whatsoever. Under load, this thing squats so much now, it's starting to rub the wheel and tyre package, which is a shame because it stanced so well, and it didn't do that when it was on the stage 2. Stage 2, it did not touch the tyres on the car whatsoever. Now, it is touching the tyres on the car because it squats so much. Insane. We'll be changing the suspension at some point. But my God, AT Motorsport, what a thing you've created. I am like gobsmacked, absolutely gobsmacked how insane this thing is. Anyway, enough of me rambling on about how fast this thing is and how I can't cope with the small roads on the Isle of Wight with 520 horsepower in my RS3. Let's carry on, let's go and go back. No, we're going to manual mode, sport mode on, valve and the exhaust goes on. We'll keep the traction control on because if this thing breaks traction while you're driving down the road, you're going too fast. That's the way I see it. If this car is breaking any traction, we're going way too fast. So we're leaving that on. Plus, I'm a respecter of B roads and speed limits. The fundamental thing to talk about, I picked this car up towards the end of the last year. It was stage 2, 440 horsepower. It was everything I ever wanted this car to be. AT Motorsport though have taken it into hyper hatch territory, in my opinion. It was a phenomenal car and they've turned it into the best car I've ever driven, the most unbelievably performing, the most insanely fast thing I've ever owned in my entire life. It is a joke to drive this thing. It is so fast, it is so grippy. The power when it comes on is biblical. You pick sort of low, so let's go third gear, 3000 RPM. And people will say I short shift and people will say that, oh, it's not that fast. It is terrifyingly fast, this car, in my opinion. It is a joke how fast it is. When I first got this, no joke, between you and me, you know, the people that are going to watch this, maybe 1,000. When I picked this up, I put it in third gear on the motorway, put my foot down, and genuinely nearly rear-ended a van because I was shocked at how quickly it picked up speed. We're talking 3,000 RPM. It is on full chat, 544 foot-pound of torque at 3,000 RPM. The way it clocks round, I cannot keep up with how fast the gauge goes round, how fast this thing gets you to the next corner, how fast the speedo goes up. The digital speedos on these RS3s, the 8Ps, I genuinely don't think that can keep up with how fast the car's going. It just goes into a mumble of crazy numbers. And people say that 500, 600, 700 is crazy power, but it's how it does that. So 520, this is, say, between argument's sake, you know, drivetrain loss and all that, this is 520. It is putting all of that power to the ground. It is putting it to the tyres and to the road. It is not front wheel drive and end spinning. It is not rear wheel drive and the back end's coming out. It's physically putting that to the floor, and that's why it feels so much faster than other cars that I've driven in the past. And that's why it terrifies me to drive this thing to the limit, because when you get there, you are going hilarious numbers because it's so grippy to the point that you're going so fast. It puts its power down, and the acceleration when it gets there is just something personally I can't keep up with. And I will say this now, this will be the fastest car I'll ever own. I'll never be able to make something faster than this. And people may say that, oh, it's your car, you're going to say that AET. I genuinely think I've driven cars. I've driven loads of cars. For the 5 years I've been doing this channel, I've driven everything I could ever drive. And this, still, a few weeks into it, so let's go for second gear. Oh, Jesus Christ. That, I can't remember the last time something really shocked me, and it wasn't the shock of losing traction, it wasn't the shock of being scared that the car can't perform and put its power down. It's the shock that it's actually putting its power down and off down the road. It does not slip. I've driven cars that are 700 horsepower. This feels faster than those because they were probably front wheel or rear wheel drive. This thing at this power is a joke how fast it is. And I genuinely believe this car is too fast for where I live. It is preposterous to have this on an island. You cannot ever find the limit of this car, and that is a really, really good thing, because it means that I can enjoy it to my limits rather than the car's limits. It will never be too fast for itself, and I quite like that it scares the living crap out of me every day. It's a nice feeling. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching again. Please leave a comment below. Tell me what your thoughts are on my RS3. If you have a car you would like me to video for the channel, please hit me up, fydapparel.com or JamieFYD on the socials, and I'll see you all on the next one.
We'll never forget the past, but what counts is our